All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Stories from a Mountain Town.
Yeah, honey. She did the intro. She always makes fun of me for my intro because I say the same exact thing
All right.
every time to welcome people to the show. So welcome back. We've been on a week break. I didn't get an episode out last week because we were moving. Taylor and I have moved down the hill to Wilson. Taylor's now Wilson mom.
Wilson
dog mom. Honey, do you want to talk about our move?
Yeah, it actually went pretty smooth given the state of the world right now. It was a little weird moving with no furniture because we got rid of everything when we moved here, but it's been like, a week and a half here now?
Yeah, about that.
Week and a half. And we were able to find a bunch of stuff off of like Wayfair, Ashley Furniture, stuff that was delivered in 2 days or that we could just pick up from the warehouse. So it actually went pretty smooth.
Yeah, it took a while. So we got getting the stuff from the old house to this house didn't take that long because I have my truck, and so it's just and this house was open before we moved in, so we could just get stuff down here when we had time. But then once we got it all, the boxes to this little house, yeah, we're like, where do we put it all? Like, where do we put our TV on? Where do we sit on? Because we didn't have couches, we didn't have TV stand, we didn't
Camo lawn chairs and TV and shoe racks for TV stands.
Yeah, we had that for like 4 or 5 days.
Living the dream.
Yeah, I still don't have a desk. That should come here at some point today. So we're sitting in our living room right now. But the new house, it's this really cute little log cabin right on the road to Teton Village, so really close to go to that in the summer or the winter.
Super and then, close to Calico, most importantly.
Calico, our favorite restaurant in town, it's like a half a mile away, right?
Yep.
Half a mile down the road. But very bikeable, very stumbleable on the way back, this bike path along this whole road. So it's really awesome.
We got super sweet neighbors.
Yeah, we live in a little cul-de-sac, and there's a bunch of kids going around, and they all love the dogs, and all the parents are really nice, and it feels really good to be in a little neighborhood where everyone actually wants to hang out with each other.
Yeah,
Saddle Butte didn't really do that very much.
But yeah,
maybe the part of that could have been
more everything was farther apart.
Yeah, farther apart. Less people actually live there full time. And then most of them were, retired, so
feels
they probably don't.
like home.
Yeah, we're on a little cul-de-sac. I grew up on a cul-de-sac. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Both my parents' houses are still where they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just want to talk about that a little bit, and then Taylor and I wanted to go through some of the alcohols and foods that we've been trying out and really enjoying here in quarantine, because we've been getting into pairing different alcohols with the right foods they're supposed to be paired to, cooking a little bit more, trying some different dishes, because honestly, we're a little bit bored. So first, as you already heard in the ad, we'll go into Snake River Brewing. They're my favorite brewery here in town and just about everywhere. There's not really any other place that gives you the great kind of beer and atmosphere that the brewery does. But they are still closed. I don't think they're doing any food or any to go from the brewery anymore.
Yeah,
they are?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, still.
Yeah.
But always, anywhere regionally here, you can get 6-packs and 12-packs and things like that. But a few of my favorite beers. Earned It. It's a hazy IPA. It's kind of a hazy, fruity flavor. I have said it here a couple times. I always like to drink it after a big hike because I feel like I have earned it. And it's not because the flavor is anything particular to hiking. It's just because of the name. But I like that. It's like really, really good, really drinkable. It's a crisp, clean, fruity IPA. And I've said before, some IPAs they don't feel as crisp, so it's hard to drink a full one or a couple of them. But this one's really clean, really crisp,
crispy,
really good. The Pale Ale, the Snake River Pale Ale, it's one of their classic ones. I think it might have been like one of their first few beers they ever made. It's just a classic pale ale, semi-hoppy but not too overpowering. Goes really good with like a burger or something a little bit heavier that can kind of balance out that flavor. It's a really good, just classic pale ale. That's a classic one. And then a new one that I first started trying when I interviewed Luke Bauer, the head of sales there, Monarch, their Pilsner. It kind of has that classic lighter Pilsner flavor like you get in any sort of light beer, but it's just like a much stronger, bolder version of that. Really easy to drink. Just like you put it in any situation, you'd put like a light beer in, but just have that stronger beer, stronger flavor, and a hometown brewery that you can get it from. Taylor, do you have any favorites from Snake River Brewing?
I don't really drink that much beer, but they did start making what's it called? It's like a seltzer.
So they have a
they
have a hop
I can't
water.
remember, a hop water.
They call it I call it like a hop water. So
grapefruit, I think.
So it's just like it's like made from hops, but it's not alcoholic. It's like made to be. It's like a not alcoholic seltzer, made to be mixed with things.
Okay, they must have mixed that with something when I was there. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
put
It
it
was
in some of
delicious,
their cocktails.
but yeah, it was something they make there. But that was good.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, if you're listening, Elliot, Luke, once we get out of this, the seltzer game is on fire right now, and I know a handful of Wilson moms that would just love a seltzer from you guys.
We're just begging for seltzer.
Yeah. We want to support local spots. Whoever is the first Jackson brewery to get a seltzer out probably will blow up this summer.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Get on it.
Okay.
And then moving on to wines.
Ooh. This is my favorite podcast episode, I think, because we're talking about two of my 3 favorite things. Charcuterie.
Not yet.
No, but that's what we're going to talk about.
So,
wait, I want to say what other favorite things. Wine and Maverick, my dog.
Yeah, her 3 favorite things: charcuterie, wine, and Maverick.
Yep.
Notice that I am not on the list.
You're number 4.
So Taylor, what is your number 1 favorite type of wine?
Oh, Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
I think Chardonnay will always have my heart because it's very drinkable. Like I feel like I can have it on with any food at any time. But lately, because I work the night shift.
For those that may not know, what kind of flavor does Chardonnay have?
Oaky? ?
Sometimes.
Really good and delicious.
Typically, you would describe
Whiny.
Chardonnays
Buttery.
Like they would go they go between like buttery, and some go more fruity, and some go a little bit oaky.
Love all those flavors together. Makes wine.
But it's a white for those who don't know. And what's your favorite Chardonnay in all the world?
Kendall Jackson Chardonnay.
Kendall Jackson Chardonnay.
Sponsor me.
Yeah, Kendall Jackson. Really, if I doubt anybody's listening to this from the Santa Rosa area or the Bay Area who hasn't been there, but if you're ever in that area, they're in Santa Rosa, right near the middle of town, I think. They have a tasting room there where you can taste a shit ton of wines that, like, you pay for a certain amount, they always give you more. I've done it a couple times. They always give you more. And the guys doing it, most of the time, they're really experienced. They've either been doing it at Kendall for, like 20 years, or they've just been in wine for their whole career, so they really know what they're talking about, and you can actually ask questions, and they're not like snobby. They don't expect you to know anything. So it's really interesting to ask questions to them and learn a little bit more about wine, even if you don't want to be, what's it called? Even if you don't want a sommelier, you can still just ask them questions on like, oh, I like making this food. What would pair well with that? Or where are these grapes from? Or like stuff like that. Like, simple stuff.
Okay, other wines and sparkling beverages. We've been real into the champagne lately. So I work nights, as you've probably heard.
No, wait, that's for later. We got to stick with wine.
That is a type of wine.
No.
Yeah, champagne.
Okay, talk about champagne.
Okay, I'm not giving this up. We're talking about champagne. It's really good, nice little bubbly morning drink after you're done with your 3 shifts for the week. And the other day, I was really craving a mimosa, but we had no orange juice, so we found an old bottle of Boone's Farm in the fridge, Fuzzy Navel.
What's Boone's Farm?
Boone's Farm. It's fruit-flavored wine.
Yeah, I know. I know what it is. I drink it. I'm for the audience.
I don't even know. Tastes like apple juice.
It's like really
juice.
Very low alcoholic, like super fruity wine.
It's the kind that when there's not coronavirus going around, you sit around a fire and take a swig and pass the bottle around.
Yeah. Like you could probably drink a whole bottle and not even feel it.
Yeah. So we have the flavor Fuzzy Navel, and we topped up our Prosecco with some Fuzzy Navel and called it a Boone's Mosa.
We're making Boone's Mosas on the weekend mornings, and then Taylor makes them when she gets back from work.
On my last shift.
Yeah, on the last shift.
Yeah.
And then so we've been drinking a bunch of Chiantis lately, right? Do you like those?
Yeah, they're good.
So that's a more of a it's a red wine. It's more of a bolder red, more of a bite. It goes better with a heavier dinner, like a more meat dinner, steaks or pot roast or something like that, because it is a bit stronger. So you don't. It's harder to just drink on its own. It's not as drinkable. Do you like that? You said you like those. What do you like about Chiantis? What do you like to eat with them?
Meat.
Very insightful.
I like it with like a big dinner.
Very
feel like.
insightful.
Or pizza.
Pizza's good, yeah.
Or chicken parm.
I kind of feel like anything Italian goes well with red wine, you know?
Yeah.
That's probably on purpose. That's kind of how it worked out. But
Mm-hmm.
And then Tempranillo is another type of wine that we've been drinking lately. And I think those are more out of like Spain, typically. Those are lighter, drier. I've been really digging them with like a really dry cheese and a charcuterie board because it's drier. Those are better to drink. Easier to drink on their own. You don't need to have them with a big meal. We've been really loving those. And for all of our wine, lately Taylor's just been going and randomly picking bottles that look cool and like, in our price range. But that's worked out really well. We found a bunch of bottles that we never would have tried.
We can't pronounce any of what we're drinking.
Yeah, it's all like fully
like
from
7
Italy or
names.
Spain. Yeah. We can't tell
But
what's
it's
it
good.
called, where it's from, but they're all been really good. So that's that. And now moving on to some whiskeys. This is more my category, but Taylor will fill in some on this also. Tin Cup, which we've had here in the podcast before. It is extremely drinkable. It's an American whiskey. I think it's made in Colorado. And their whole thing is they want to be the whiskey that you bring with you out into the mountains, out into hikes, out with you camping. So it comes with a tin shot glass on the top, or a tin shot cup on the top that you can drink it out of. And then the bottle is made, it's thick enough glass, so if you drop it, it won't break from most places. And then it's made in like an octagon shape kind of, so it won't roll down a hill if you're drinking on a mountain. It should stop, hopefully. But it's super drinkable. It's really, it just is totally okay with just ice or even no ice, just neat. It's really good. Tin Cup, one of my favorite whiskeys. And then obviously we're here in Wyoming whiskey. This one is a stronger whiskey. I call it a cowboy whiskey. It's stronger. It'll put hair on your chest. All those good things. More bite to it. I like it on ice, but it's really good to be made into like a bigger mixed drink. Like I've made hot toddies with it, and they're really good. And then Taylor, what did you make with it?
Oh, we were feeling sangria the other night. So we made sangria with a Chianti, Wyoming whiskey. We didn't really have all the right ingredients, so it was kind of made up, but it turned out really good.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have orange juice, but we had cutie clementines. So I squeezed some of those into a cup, mixed it with a little bit of sugar, shook up some wine of the Chianti with Wyoming whiskey and poured it over ice with a bunch of chopped up fruit on the top, and it tasted like a real sangria.
Yeah, definitely. That was a really good one. It like brought out the best parts, the best flavors of the Chianti and the whiskey and the orange, and put them all together.
Pineapple. Mm-hmm.
And pineapple. Yeah, it didn't
so good.
didn't have any bite, even though there's probably a bunch of whiskey in there.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, we got to those two. And now let's move on to some foods. Taylor, what's your favorite food that we've made during quarantine?
Charcuterie board.
Charcuterie. Charcuterie. Shashatan. We don't know how to pronounce it.
No idea.
We've heard
Cheese.
all the
just
different
like
types of pronunciations for it and spellings for it. We still don't know. But basically it's just like you can explain this one.
Everybody knows what it is. This is a beautiful cheese board.
Cheese and meat and
Pickles, olives, fruits,
crackers,
nuts, crackers.
yeah, jams. And one addition that I recently found at the grocery store is called Manchego cheese. And I've been obsessed with it.
He ate half a block.
Yeah, I did. It's kind of a harder, drier cheese. It more has a consistency of like a like a Parmesan block. Yeah. And it has that real dry flavor, and it's one of the cheeses that I love pairing with like a Tempranillo because it's really good. I don't know. I've just become obsessed with dry cheese and dry wine right now.
I feel like our go-to on our cheese boards are smoked Gouda, Havarti with dill, Well, now we've got the Manchego edition. We usually do some sort of brie with a jam. And I found a really good jam that's out of Utah. It's a ras pepper jam. So it's like, it's got a little jalapeno bite to it. It's delicious. Then we will add some like nut thins, certain kinds of crackers. Big fan of Jeff Moberg. What are these damn olives called that I can never remember? They're like light green.
They're just
I don't
olives
know.
without pits.
No, they're like special olives.
What makes them special?
They're from another country.
Greece?
I don't know, but they're
Or
so
Italy?
good. We'll report back once I find out the name.
Yeah. So all those on there.
Salami.
And then what's the dip thing? The cheese dip that we get?
Oh, it's just like a,
What's the brand?
I don't know, alouette.
Alouette? Yeah,
Can't
Alouette's like a
remember.
cream cheese dip thing, and they have a bunch of different flavors. And we like the toasted jalapeno. Is that what it's called? Something like that. It's got a little, it's not too spicy.
Zang.
Yeah. Yeah, and then any kind of like dry salami, or like sometimes we'll get is it like a elk sausage or a venison sausage?
switch it up.
Sometimes we can get that here at the grocery store, and we'll find little fun things to add in there. But kind of whatever you want. And then Taylor's big thing is arranging it all in a pretty fashion, and then taking a picture with the bottle of wine or something in our scenery.
Chowing it.
Yeah, and then destroying it.
Yep.
And we have this really cute board from Taylor's sister Allie. It's like a slate. It's like about the size of a normal like printer paper, sheet of paper. And then it has the etched into it. It has the Grand Teton and the big three peaks up there. And then it says like
Life is grand.
Life is grand. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's our main,
It's super cool.
our go-to board. That's the setting for it all.
Yes.
So
Next
yeah.
up for food is.
Oh yeah. Pot roasts.
Oh yeah, we made our first
made a pot
ever
roast.
pot roast together.
How'd
Those
we
things
do
are
it?
underrated.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah. As long as you can just get up in the morning and do it in the
Remember
morning.
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's gonna be. Yeah. It's
I
gonna
mean,
work
we
out
ate ours
well.
at 10 p.m., but it was still delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. So you take just any sort of chuck roast, right?
Mhm.
That you
Yeah.
can get at the grocery store. And we had a smaller one because it was just us two. But then we took it and seared it on a really hot cast iron pan, just like a couple minutes each side, just to give it kind of a crust on the outside. And I think we should have done more. I've seen more like TikToks on it, and they do like longer, so it's like almost blackened, and then it must like kind of work its way, or like the black stuff like melts away in the pot. So you sear it, and then you put it in a crock pot with
8 hours on low.
Yeah, with
Oh, we did.
beef broth,
Yeah, beef broth,
water,
Dijon
onion,
mustard,
Dijon mustard.
balsamic vinegar.
Yep.
Onions, potatoes, carrots.
Yep.
Oh, I can't remember what else, but it was
I think that was
delicious.
it.
Some other seasonings, but
Yeah, and seasonings, whatever like salt and pepper you think you want, and
Yeah.
all that good stuff. And then you set it on low for anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. What did we do? We got to 6 and it wasn't quite done, so we put it on high for like an hour, and then it
low.
finished up. And once it's done, it just is like falling
falls
off
apart,
of itself.
yeah.
Like you just take a fork and you can just pull some off. Just absolutely delicious, and just the most like, when I think comfort food, I think of like a stew
Pot
or like
roast,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like warm,
Yep.
gooey.
So
You
good.
get so full because it's just like all this
Goodness.
filling stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
just like Mama used to make. My mom did.
Oh, and we made cornbread with it. That was
Yeah,
pretty
and
good.
talk about that. I don't really know you did that.
Well, it was just a made-up recipe because we don't have a lot of staple ingredients such as flour and other things. So it was like Greek yogurt, sour cream, actually put corn in a blender. Some really made-up recipe, but it turned out pretty good. So it was jalapeno cheddar cornbread. That was a delicious addition to pot roast.
Yeah, that was really good. We still have some.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta eat it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so that's all of our eating and drinking that we've been doing, and lots of water. We've been drinking lots of water.
Yes.
Taylor, can you tell them, is there anything else that you've been doing that you've found interest in this quarantine? You can't really do anything. You love going and meeting, to hang out with people more than I do. Can you talk a little bit about what you've been doing to stay busy outside of work?
Well, moving has taken up most of our time. I feel like I've been doing a lot of like organizing and setting things up in the house. But in terms of like hanging out with friends, what we've been doing is we downloaded the app House Party, and we've been doing a lot of that. And then the really fun one we did the other day was this took a bit to set up, but we got, what's that game called?
Jackbox TV.
And then we Zoomed and we played Jackbox TV with like a bunch of my family members that were all not together either. So there's like 6 different people on. And we played like trivia games. So that was a blast. Kind of makes you feel like you're still hanging out with everyone. We got to do that again.
Yeah. So you take for the Zoom and Jackbox TV. So Jackbox TV is like basically an application that has different types of games on it. We played something similar to like an Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity, where there's like, it says like, put a funny thing in here that describes this thing, and you do that, and then people pick between yours and another person's on which one's the funnier one, and then you get points based on that. And there's different games. But so I downloaded that on my computer, and then we put a Zoom call together. And then I shared my screen of my computer so they could see what was on my screen. And then once the game got up, it shows a code. And then everyone goes on their phones and logs on to Jackbox TV, and then puts in the code, and then we're all in the same game together. So anybody can be in the game from no matter where they are on their phone.
Yeah, that was super fun.
And then all the prompts for the game were on my computer and then on the devices that people were watching it on.
Yes, that was a blast.
Yeah. Really fun
We'll
once
be
you get
doing
that
that
put
again.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then House Party. It's just a normal app on your phone that's a really easy download. And you can do group video calls.
You can whoop your friends in trivia.
Yeah, you can play games in there. So there's like trivia, there's
Heads up.
draw. There's a heads up style game. There's a drawing game. There's a one called Chips and Guac, which is kind of the same thing like Apples to Apples, where there's like a card drawn, and then that dealer person has to pick which of the cards people lay down are funnier.
Mm-hmm.
That's all digital. And then you can like invite people into it if they're not in it. If you just want to go open the house, or you're in the house, they call it being in the house, and you can message people to come in and stuff. It's good.
Yeah, that's been a really good way for everybody to kind of stay connected and still feel like we're hanging out, but
yeah,
we're not.
I wonder if I've been thinking about this when we were like playing that Zoom game. Like, we've lived across the country from our family for over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
We never really did that kind of thing with our family. We FaceTimed all the time. But like, do you think now that people know how to do these more activity-based group calls, we'll be doing it after quarantine is done if we're like separate from people we want to do that with?
Yeah, and I think it's cool because it's brought all the grannies and grandparents into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so fun to see my grandparents like downloading and using those apps, and they're so pumped to be able to like see their grandkids on it. So I feel like that'll stick around.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my mom and her siblings had to go try to remotely set up my grandma's camera and stuff. So they're like on the phone with her trying to get her set up, and they were 2 hours into it when they realized that the camera itself wasn't even plugged in.
Classic.
Yeah, but they finally got her set up, so they've been doing Zoom calls like almost every day.
So awesome.
Is there anything else you've been doing that's been you've been enjoying?
Well, we're kind of waiting for the weather's like confused right now on if it wants to keep snowing or get warm. So we're like in between skiing and biking. So Tyler and I went touring a couple times this weekend. He tried to kill me. But everyone made it out alive. So we've been doing a little bit of that.
There was never any danger. We barely got high up anywhere at all.
Okay, but my legs were about to fall out from underneath me.
Because it was steep. Yes, we did a tour on Togety Pass on Saturday, and that was a really good one. It was like, for anyone that's been up there, there's a peak right behind Togety Mountain Lodge. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's really visible, and you can ride right back down to your truck. And so we parked on this little pull-out area, just climbed up it. It took like 2 hours in full. It was a good climb. It was pretty steep.
It was nice.
And it was cloudy up there, but on a clear day you could see the Tetons from there, and it's pretty far away. I'd like to do it again when it's clear.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I put my skis away for the winter after yesterday.
It'll be wintry up there for a bit yet, because that's pretty high up. Because that got up to 10,000.
Skiing through rocks and dirt yesterday.
But that was low. That was our mistake. We went.
Yeah, we screwed
here
up
in the valley. You got to stay up high right now. Like doing Mount Glory would be fine. Doing that again would be fine, because that got up to 10,200 or something.
I think it's bike season. I'm ready to bike.
You can bike. I can't. Well, I mean, I can bike on the bike trails, the bike paths, but all my mountain biking is still covered in snow.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
We got lots
Road
of
bikes.
other things to do.
Anything else you've been doing?
No, have I been doing other things that you want to mention? Because I can't remember.
No, I'm just asking.
Oh. Putting together a lot
you've
of
been doing-
furniture.
Yeah, you've been doing. Yeah, we've gotten really good at using Allen wrenches and
Yeah.
reading directions from furniture companies. We have our TV stand that has a fireplace in it that took like an hour and a half and 2 drinks to finish
That might be why it took us a little longer.
because it's so big. What else we put together?
Home improvement. We hung lights
Chair.
outside.
Yeah, lights. Yeah.
It's really, really cool. It'll be nice to see it in the summer. Sit out on the porch.
Yeah, I forgot how much fun it is, like making a home yours. And now that we're actually adults and have like actual money, we can actually do fun things instead of in college. You're just like, yeah, we'll put a flag up, which is, oh, this couch is on the side of the road. Let's put it in the garage. You know, stuff like that isn't really. It's kind of different. But now we can actually buy stuff that we want, and it's been good.
Yeah.
I'm awaiting my desk to come in today, so that'll be another project to set up, and then my office will be complete. The new house has an office, which I haven't had. I didn't have at the Saddle Butte house. My desk kind of just like in the kitchen,
Yeah.
in this little corner in the kitchen. But the desk will be good. I'll be doing podcasts from there. I'm going to try to set up like, you know how the desk is like an L-shaped thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to set up like, you know, like talk like this to people.
Yeah. Like an interview.
Yeah. And like get another chair to sit across from me. And so, yeah. I think
Nice.
it'll be
Bridger's got his own room, his own queen size bed.
Yeah. Our
He
guest bed.
literally hasn't left the bed and like probably except to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. He's been really tired
He
today.
loves that thing.
Uh-huh. And he sleeps on it like a human. Like he lays with
Yeah,
his head on the pillow.
It's amazing.
That's awesome. All right. Was there anything else?
No. Happy
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, happy charcuterie and pot roasting.
Yeah.
Make some new recipes.
Yeah. Message us
Come up
on
with some new
social media or
drinks.
anything if you have any questions about any of the recipes or the wines and stuff that any of
Send
the
us
brands
pics
that
of
we
your
had.
charcuteries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please.
Taylor loves seeing pictures of
My
charcuteries.
favorite.
Send them to her on whatever you have her on, text or whatever.
All right.
And everyone, keep washing your hands. Stay at home. Find a good book.
6 feet.
And stay healthy.
Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Bye everyone.